Good morning. I love coming down to visit Melbourne. You guys have braved the crowds, you've braved all of the protests this morning, and you've still made it here. We appreciate you coming down and spending some time with us. As they announced, my name is Greg Taylor. I'm the Group Vice President and Managing Director for Asia Pacific and Japan. I'm based in Sydney, so don't let the accent fool you. You guys let me in here 17 years ago, and I'm not leaving. I love coming down to Melbourne for a number of reasons. One, the coffee's better than Sydney. Two, the football code's easier to understand for someone who's moved over here. And three, I always love the little laneways and how curious everyone is. It's such a fun time to be able to speak to people on the street and actually hear what you guys are up to, and everyone's really interested in learning more and being better. Today is all about learning, and we really appreciate you spending time with us. We know that you have busy jobs, busy lives, and you could be doing other things. It's exciting for us because 3 years ago, we actually decided to put an office in Sydney, and we had about 6 people in a serviced office in Martin Place. And if we fast forward now to 2019, we have over 100 staff across Asia Pacific and Japan. We have offices in Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, and Tokyo. And the reason is because all of our customers. When we started, customers had already found New Relic via the web. They'd found them through friends. They'd found them through colleagues. Now, we've made a significant investment to help you as customers and potential customers get really good value out of New Relic. And hopefully today, what you're excited to come and hear from us is what we've been up to. Now, we can't do this without our sponsors. And we have 3 really good sponsors today that I would encourage you at one of the breaks to go and seek out. We'll also have some talks from some of these sponsors as well. So if you get the opportunity, please take some time to go and actually spend and understand what they're doing with their customers. So Auth0, AWS, and PagerDuty are all very significant partners of New Relic, and we have many joint customers where we help our customers' customers be successful. Please take some time to go by one of the booths at one of the breaks or hear some of the speaking sessions. Now, we have an action-packed agenda today. Following our keynote, which, spoiler alert, is going to include lots of new products and some really new features in our platform. We're also going to hear from some of our customers because, it's great to hear about what products can do, but it's when you put them into use and be able to have business value out of these technologies that you get really good outcomes. So we're going to hear some great stories from customers. We have Chris Fechner from Service New South Wales who's going to share the journey that a government agency has gone on to become one of the leading employers within New South Wales and also the first government agency to be nominated as the greatest place to work. So very exciting to hear about that. And then he may give us a little bit of a sneak peek on what they're doing around digital driver's licenses, which are some of the first in the world, and what they've prepared to be able to be successful for that. We're also going to hear from Dara Martin, digital engineering at IAG, so big financial services company, and how they're digitally transforming, and some of the things they've learned along the process, and also some areas where they've been able to be really successful. After that, we'll hear from Sean Hooper from AWS. Not sure if you're aware, but AWS and New Relic are very close partners. And we actually do a lot of stuff with customers jointly. And they'll share a really interesting story and some exciting things about what they've done with some customers, particularly one that happens to be based in Melbourne, that happens to be a very large New Relic customer. Then, right before lunch, we'll come back on stage and we'll have 2 fireside chats. First, with Afterpay, digital first, fast-moving financial services, fintech company that's helping change the way the world does payments and purchases all kinds of retail apparel and attire. And then we'll transfer over to a very, very large bank that happens to be based in Melbourne and talk about their transformation, right? Very different story. So we'll hear from ANZ Bank. Then we'll go on and have lunch. But just before lunch, I'll come back up and I'll share with you because we're going to break off into 2 tracks. So during the day, think about which track you'd like to go into because there's a lot of content today and you don't want to miss out. But if you do miss out, we're recording everything, so you can take this either to your organization or you can watch some of the tracks that you may have missed. Now you'll see outside, just over on the left-hand side, that we have some amazing booths and some lounges over there. Take an opportunity, because we've actually expanded the booths this year to make sure that you get more value with all the exciting stuff that we're announcing. We have partner booths, and we also have a lot of New Relic folks there. The second thing is make sure that you drop by the swag booth. because it's not a good conference without some good New Relic swag, although I can see some swag in the audience, so thank you for representing, but we got some cool new stuff. We even have, surprise, surprise, some amazing socks. You could have some socks too. But no, drop by and take some time. Go spin the wheel of swag. It's a lot of fun. Spend some time with some of the relics and ask some questions. And then our first time that we've actually done this, we're having a hacker bar. And this will make a lot of sense after you hear the keynote, but go by. Within 20 minutes, you can create your own New Relic nerdlet. And you'll understand why this is important right after you hear the keynote. So take some time to go by and actually spend some time with some of the relics and some of our partners. Now, you'll see how many relics we have in the room. We talked about, years ago we had 6 people. Now we're up to a big staff count. We have a local Melbourne office. A big reason for that is because you've chosen New Relic as a partner, and we really appreciate that. There's no way that we could be as successful as we have been without your support. And we'd like to continue that support, and the way that we do that is by giving you more value. And so we have lots of relics in the room that are very, very excited to be able to help you get the most value out of New Relic. We also have some international guests and visitors here that are the heads of are the general managers of some of the best products that we're working on. Spend some time with them because they're right in the forefront of every customer problem that New Relic solves across the globe and across the planet. Pretty exciting to be able to talk to them about your challenges and hear that someone across the world has similar challenges. Our formula for success is all about creating value and creating partnerships with our customers. So we want to move our customers from traditionally, you would have known New Relic as a monitoring company. We've really evolved and built what we consider the world's first and best observability platform. And you're going to hear more about that today, which is really exciting because there's some great use cases just based in Melbourne that we're going to be able to show as well. And then finally, the investments we made in all the people, they're all here in the room. Take some opportunity to be able to ask the hard questions. We love a bit of a challenge, and we'll hopefully come back and be able to give you some value today. So with that, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker today, a friend of mine. It's his second time to Melbourne. He loves coming down here. He told me right before the break that he'd love to come down and spend 2 weeks next time. Our Senior Vice President of Growth, Engineering, and our Chief Marketing Officer, Jim Stoneham. Welcome to the stage, Jim Stoneham.
Good morning, Melbourne. As Greg said, I'm really happy to be back here. It's been 2 years since the last time I was here, and I think our office is just getting started then. I met with several customers then, and I'm really excited to be back with you today. And I wanted to thank you all for taking time out of your day to be with us today so we can share what we're up to, get to know your pain points and your challenges and how you're trying to transform your business and help us serve you better as we move forward. I am super excited to talk about 6 new innovations today, and I'm going to get into all of these in detail, and they're all about delivering a better platform to you so you can better build perfect software and power your businesses. And we really do this for the love of software. You saw that cool video earlier. Did you like the video? Good? Cool little video in the beginning? Yeah? I've been involved in building software for probably more than I care to admit, about 3 decades now. And I'm normally a product guy. Spent a lot of time at New Relic on growth and marketing, but I've worked in the infrastructure product. I've built and sold 2 companies. I've worked at companies like Yahoo, where we've served 6 billion page views a month. So I've felt some of that pain, felt some of those challenges. But every time I come to work in the morning, it's always for that love of software. I love building software. I love solving customer problems. So we're really all here, I think, for the love of software. And the mission that we have as New Relic is obviously to help you create more perfect software, software that loads fast every time, mobile apps that are responsive, systems that don't go down, less pages, hopefully, at 2 in the morning, more perfect software. You all know what I mean, I'm sure. And this is critical because for all of us, your software is your business. It's about transforming how you talk to your customers. It's about propelling your business growth. This is what we all exist to do. So again, it's really exciting to be here with you today to share our story, but also be together as people who love software to really build amazing businesses together. So as we all work on software every day, a term that's been emerging more and more, which is observability. And it's really all about understanding all the telemetry, all the data, all the situational analysis of what's going on with our systems and our customer experiences. And as you know, there's really 4 key types of data, telemetry, that make up observability. There's metrics, lots of data points, lots of measurement. There's events, like what's actually happening. Logs, of course, for deeper insight, and traces to manage these complex distributed systems. And as we've all been investing in these things, and we talk to customers, they've been building out kind of capability in all these areas, but it's led to a proliferation of tools, of context switching between dashboards. Most customers I talk to have between 12 and 20 tools they're using to kind of understand their entire environment. So getting to that elusive view of observability across their entire technical estate is requiring lots and lots of different investments, lots of context switching, and we actually think there's a better way. We think that observability requires a platform where it all comes together in one place so you can be more effective in building more perfect software. And of course, we believe that platform is New Relic One, and that is the first observability platform, which is open, connected, and programmable. It's open because not only we bring in data from our traditional agents that give you that magical moment of instrumentation, we also are going to talk today about bringing in data from all sorts of open source technologies so you can instrument everything and have no blind spots. None of us likes to have blind spots in our instrumentation. It's connected, and really the goal of connected is to really understand the relationships and the upstream, downstream dependencies so you can quickly take action when there's an issue or proactively scale things. And lastly, and probably the most exciting part about it for me, is it's programmable, which means you can take all the telemetry data that you have, marry that with business data and other data sources, and build amazing applications to help drive your business. And we're going to talk a lot about that today, show you some demos. So really, for an observability platform, our belief is it has to be open, it has to be connected, and importantly, we can't call it a platform unless you can build apps on top of it, so it has to be programmable. But before I get into all that, let me just step back and talk about the New Relic that you all know and love today. Started with APM. We've since that time added full stack visibility across from infrastructure to browser, mobile, synthetics. And as you know, you drop in an agent and magically you've got telemetry and data and you understand quickly what your environment looks like. And it's all been feeding that data up into the New Relic cloud for quite some time. 2 billion data points per minute, huge, massive scale of data coming in and out from our cloud. What you may not know is in that kind of New Relic cloud is NRDB, New Relic database. It's the world's most powerful telemetry database. It's been taking in this data for the last 11 years. And we've been scaling and growing that over time to better serve you, to really support your biggest day. So as we think about New Relic One becoming a more powerful observability platform for you, the first leg of this stool is really open. Its ability to take in more and more data. And our belief is you need to have one place for all your telemetry data, your metrics, your events, your logs, and your traces. So I want to talk about some of the announcements today. The first is New Relic Metrics. So now you can, with open source technologies that are available like Prometheus and DropWizard and Istio, service mesh technologies, we allow you to bring in all those data, the data points into New Relic One, into the core platform, so you can now treat those as first-class citizens alongside the data coming from our agents. So New Relic Metrics is all about bringing all this data in from all the different sources you use. And some of our early customers have been using this, USA Today being an example. It's a very large media company in the States. They've called this a game changer. So for the first time, they've got all their data in one place. They can put together dashboards that marry New Relic agent data from APM along with service mesh data and really understand their full environment. And they're able to stay in one tool and not lose context as they move from tool to tool. So Metrics is all about embracing open source technologies, bringing in data from lots of sources, and giving you a full picture and less blind spots in your estate. As part of that, the second announcement is really New Relic Traces. Same approach. Let's bring in data from Istio, from Zipkin, OpenTelemetry, from all your distributed systems, because I think who here is using distributed systems and microservices? I would say probably most of us, right? We run thousands of them at New Relic. So it's all about bringing in data from those sources and then marrying them with our powerful distributed tracing analysis tools. So starting a month ago, you could bring in all this data from open tracing standards and marry that with the data coming from our agents and have a beautiful view of all your distributed microservices. The third part of our open strategy, which is I'm very excited to talk about today, is New Relic Logs. So you can now have logs from New Relic, and we're doing it the New Relic way. It's all going into NRDB. It's lightning fast, no indexing, and importantly, it's all about providing those logs in context with your application data and your overall systems data. And to talk about it, I'm excited to welcome to the stage Australia native-born Julian Guica, who leads this effort. Welcome, Julian.
It's fantastic to be here today. I'm from Sydney, but very excited to be in Melbourne. And I have to say, my dad was born here, so go the Tigers. Very happy with how that came out. So, New Relic logs, right?
Awesome stuff.
I'm very excited to say this is available to everyone here today. So as soon as we get out of here, go and see the booth, come and check it out, sign up, give it a kick. So you're talking about it's fast, scalable, it's logs in context. I think the best thing we have to do is
Let's show them.
give it a demo.
Time for a demo.
Right, let's do this. Typing in the password. OK, so this is New Relic 1. This wonderful blue little icon here is available to everyone. This is our logs launcher. So I'm going to go in, and with a hot second, this is all of New Relic's log data. So New Relic generates around 15 terabytes of log data a day.
Is that big, small? Like, where does that sit in the world of
For
logs?
some it's big, for some it's small. You know, it's kind of in the middle. I think 15 terabytes to me is more than I can carry.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So what I'm going to show to you is I'm going to go and search through all of this data. This is everything that's generating log data at New Relic. This is every load balancer, Kubernetes, Mesos, because we like running multiple things. And I'm going to show you every occurrence of every warning coming out of every one of our systems. Look at that.
Yeah.
2 seconds to thumb through all of that data. Right? Come on, people. This is exciting. That's really fast. Come on. Because when New Relic, everything is malleable. You can click on it, you can explore, you can click and drag. We have alerts on this log data. We have dashboards. You can facet on everything. It's all built on top of the power of NRDB. So this is the core experience, but there's something I'm really excited about, Jim. It's logs in context. This is connecting all of logging with all of the rest of New Relic. So I'm going to go back.
That's what we do. It's a platform approach, right?
What we do. I'm going to go back to the New Relic 1. I'm going to pull up the Kubernetes Explorer. This thing, I really like this thing. The Kubernetes Explorer to me is really, really pretty. My background is a Ruby developer. I have no idea what it does, but it looks amazing. Look at this. So I'm going to find a pod that is a little unhealthy. And here's what we've done. We've got these little buttons now, C logs. Single click, we go from that wide fire hose, that 15 terabytes of data, to exactly that one moment in time, that one thing that you care about, right? Yeah. You don't need to worry about time. You don't need to worry about searching. This is it. This is everything you need to know about that pod or that container or that namespace. Now, we do more than that, but wait, there's more. We also tie into APM errors and distributed tracing. So I'm going to pull up a distributed trace for our application. Distributed tracing is that request-response lifecycle. So a request comes in, could be an API request, could be a user, and we have timing of all of the functions called all the way through the system, through databases, and all the back out. Distributed tracing does that across multiple systems as well.
Right.
So let's go and pull up a distributed trace. And there we are. We've got this button again. You want me to press it?
Yeah. Logs for the trace. Love it.
And again, this is a single click to see everything that you need to know. There is no more data than this. It's just the end-to-end response. That's all of the logs for that one transaction. Single click.
Yeah, my ops guys would take that trace name and put it into search the logs. It would take them 5 minutes to get the result back. It would have wasted a whole bunch of time.
Right.
That's the context switching. That's awesome.
So this is available to everyone right now. We have a 30-day free trial. You can send up to 5 terabytes a day. So I encourage everyone, please come, kick the tires, try it out.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julian. Yeah. Talk to your account team today. Logs is available. It's amazing. It's fast. It's connected to the rest of your environment. It's logs in context. It's the fastest way to get to the why when you're trying to troubleshoot an issue. So I hope you check it out, and we're in love with it. So with these 3 new data sources, metrics, traces, and logs, really, New Relic 1 is one platform to see it all your data in one place. So with all that data in one place, the second part of New Relic 1 is about a connected understanding of what's going on and understanding the relationships. So you can take action quickly and be really well informed of what's happening. So we started this journey with New Relic 1 back in May. We shipped a whole new user experience on top of NRDB called New Relic 1. And our focus there was building a much more connected view for you. You know us for our curated dashboards, fast insights from things like APM and infrastructure and mobile. We thought we could do much more than that. So New Relic 1 is really the new homepage for the New Relic experience. And if you haven't checked it out yet, you need to go check it out. And you'll see a lot of the tools we talked about today. sitting in New Relic One. And New Relic One really provides a pan-enterprise view of all your stuff. You can search quickly, you can find all your services, all your containers, et cetera. And when we shipped New Relic One, there was a big focus on building connected views. The first of this was service maps, which you had seen prior to New Relic One, but now service maps is even richer, reaching across multiple accounts and sub-accounts, including views of services like we just talked about with open data coming in. So service maps gets much more rich and much more robust and much more connected. Julian showed you Kubernetes Cluster Explorer as well. Who here has used Kubernetes Cluster Explorer in the audience? A few folks? Who here uses Kubernetes? Okay, you need to check it out. It's pretty awesome. I've been responsible for a number of ops teams in my life, and the ops folks that I talk to at our customers are loving this, and you can see the tweet. One of our customers said it's a thing of beauty. Kubernetes is a challenge when you're dealing with it for the first time, and having great tools to look at it is critical, and understanding those relationships is critical as well. And of course, connected doesn't mean anything unless we're not connecting with functions as well. So New Relic Serverless for AWS Lambda is available GA as well. If you haven't checked it out yet, it's available to you. You can start using it to bring in your use of Lambda into this connected view of your overall systems. And then the other thing we did with New Relic One is really unified the dashboard experience as well. There's some amazing new dashboards in New Relic One, very flexible, very powerful. And if you know how to use NRQL or query language, you can build really robust and complex dashboards and bring a very connected view into those as well. We also released a thing called Chart Builder, which is a point-and-click way, if you don't understand NRQL, to quickly build dashboards and deploy them in your environment. So again, these are all features of New Relic One, and they're all about building this connected view of all this data we're bringing together in that centralized platform. The other thing about connected is really understanding all the data that's coming through and working to eliminate noise and make you more productive. And I'm really excited to talk about New Relic AI in that context. We got an amazing team that joined New Relic about 8 months ago. And this is all about building smarter incident response if you're on a DevOps or SRE team. So we're basically, our goal is to reduce toil in SRE teams by taking all the alert data that's coming in and dramatically reducing that down using AI technologies. And our early customers who've been using this have seen an 80% plus reduction in alert noise. Wouldn't you like to get all that time back? Not looking at all those alerts that are flying through and not seeing redundant alerts come through. So New Relic AI is actually available in beta now. Talk to your account team about getting access to this. It's incredibly powerful. Our early customers are loving it, and they're spending much more of their time not on toil, but actually on building amazing new systems and capabilities. So that's New Relic AI. So with all these connected views, with New Relic AI, it's all about building this kind of connected experience in the platform. So again, the goal is to get you back to work as quickly as possible and understanding your systems issues when they come up and resolving them quickly. The third part about New Relic One is programmability, programmable, and I couldn't be more excited about this. We have lots of great ideas at New Relic. We think we build amazing products, but we actually believe you have the best ideas as our customers. You know your use cases better than we do. You know how to build powerful tools that connect your business to your technology, and we want to enable that for you. And if you think about it, this is really where Amazon started on this journey as well. They built out a ton of technical capability internally to power their own business, and then they realized, hey, we can make this available to our customers as well. And that's what led to the rise of AWS, if you know the story about AWS. And we've taken that same approach with New Relic One and programmability. So our fifth innovation is really about programmability and allowing you to build apps on top of the New Relic One platform. And when you think about what's possible, I'll just give a couple little teaser examples. Imagine being a retailer and having point-of-sale systems and understanding the state of those systems and how it's affecting business throughput in each of your locations. Imagine understanding your cloud spend and being able to quickly understand, based on utilization of instances, how you could optimize and improve that. Or what your web experience is doing to your throughput in your shopping carts based on performance of your web pages. And again, mashing all that data together to give you a really powerful view of your entire business and your technical systems and how they relate to each other. So we got about 20 partners and customers together about 4 weeks ago in Chicago for our first, what we call Future Hack. It was the 0.1 version. It was just the early start. We're going to be doing more of these as we go along. And in less than a week, this group built a whole bunch of apps together. There was a few relics in the room, some partners, a lot of customers. And excited to talk about the 12 open source apps that were built in that week, basically. So this is kind of the starter pack. All this stuff's available as open source. That'll give you great examples that you can clone and build on top of, or just use them as is, because they're very powerful out of the box. But instead of me talking about them, the best thing to do is to actually show you. And I wanted to welcome to the stage Jemiah, who's going to give you a walkthrough of some of these Keynote apps. Welcome, Jemiah.
Thank you for the introduction, Jim. Hi, everyone. I'm Jemiah. I'm a senior product manager here at New Relic, and I have this amazing role where I get to work with a lot of our customers and enable them on this amazing feature, programmability. I know Jim mentioned that we did Nerd Hack in Chicago a few weeks back, but I was just so excited to get as many of our customers developing these applications that yesterday we did a session with about 70 customers where we showed them how to build applications on the New Relic platform. I also introduced them to quite a few of the open source examples. And I'd like to actually call out that we've had one of our customers from that session yesterday that actually took the information that was provided and went forward and built their first custom application and deployed that to production. So that's amazing. That's just how easy it is for you to build these applications. So what I want to do now is just show you an example of a few of the applications that we've developed and open sourced that are provided to you on our GitHub. So the first app I want to talk to you about is our network telemetry application. Users of New Relic infrastructures may already be familiar with our infrastructures agent as being an extensible agent, allowing you to send additional custom or platform-specific data into New Relic using events. One of our CSG agents developed an infrastructure integration allowing you to add additional network traffic data to your New Relic account. And what we used to do in order to visualize that data is build dashboards. But with the power of programmability, we're actually able to go beyond dashboards, and we've created this network telemetry application that gives you just this amazing IP fix or S-flow view of the way that the traffic is flowing through your network, also allowing you to get a better understanding of your network traffic in real time. So this telemetry network app is one of the free open source examples that you can clone and get installed into your account today, simply by going to our GitHub or visiting us in the Hacker Lounge. We'll be happy to help you get it set up and running. So I look forward to seeing you all later. Moving forward into another app that I'd love to show you, I want to talk to you about a Neon application. Neon was built by one of our CSG reps and working in partnership with one of our retail customers that wanted a way to aggregate their alerts data around specific business functions and being able to control that aggregation based off of user-specified configurations. So we have this example configured in two verticals, one being location and the other one being function. But you can configure this Neon app in any way that you like, just using a simple config file. If I were to pop into one of my locations, I'd be able to see all of the alerting events in a timeline view. And if I had an incident going on, I'd be able to go into that alert policy to acknowledge and resolve that issue. So I think it's an amazing app and gives you quite a deep understanding into what's going on with your alerts. The next application I want to show you, one thing that we've noticed about some of our larger or fast-growing customers is that having an understanding of what's going on within our applications can be quite difficult when we're dealing with so many containers. So with the Container Explorer, we get this wide view of all the containers that we have throughout our accounts. Right now, I'm looking at my top 2,000 containers in a heat map view. And it allows us to quickly segment these containers and take a deeper dive into what's going on within our containers. So let me just go ahead and see, how do I want to segment this? I'll choose clusters. We're going to take a look at what we have going on with our EU production. So it allows me to see the containers just based off of the segments that I've selected with the same heat map view, but segmenting the data based off of CPU usage, memory, or disk. If I select one of my containers, it's going to give me a deeper detail into what's going on within that container. And being that New Relic is such an open and connected platform, I can easily see what's going on with my host, as well as I can take a peek at what's going on with the applications that this container is with the application that's running on this container. So these custom apps are quite easy to deploy. You can get this up and running within your account within about 5 minutes. So I want to show you my favorite, a personal favorite of mine. This is our GitHub application. I like this app because it adds a lot of context into what's going on with your entities. So let's say you're in a firefighting situation. Without ever leaving your entity, you can go into your GitHub repo tab, take a look at the README file for the code that's powering your entity, as well as taking a peek at the top contributors or the persons that made the latest contribution to this code base, and reach out for help and quickly get whatever your issue is resolved without ever having to leave New Relic. So it just gives you a lot of value within a few minutes of getting this deployed into your account. It's free and it's available to you on GitHub. And I want to show you one more example moving from GitHub. And that's going to be one that I find quite cool. It's our Cloud Optimize example. What Cloud Optimize does is it uses your infrastructure data as well as marrying that with pricing data coming from AWS. It reviews all of your EC2 instances throughout your account. And it shows you which instances you may have over-provisioned, with allowing you to select what you consider over-provisioned to be by adjusting the Optimize by slide. So I'm going to put it at 50% and say, show me all of my instances that maxed out at about 50% within the last week. So I know if they've maxed out at about 50%, that I may be able to downsize these instances and find some savings. So in the price detail chart above, it's going to show me what my non-optimized spend is compared to what an optimized spend could look like, and the potential savings that I may see in my AWS account, as well as allowing me to drill into my individual services and take a look at some performance data as far as what my CPU usage was, the type of instance that I currently have, and give me a recommendation of the type of instance that I may downsize to with the savings that I can see. So I think this is just a really powerful application. Previously at FutureStack in Sydney, I helped a customer get this up and running in their account at the Hacker Lounge within 5 minutes. So we'd love for you to stop by the Hacker Lounge. We'll show you how easy and quick it is to get the CLI up and running, as well as helping you deploy some of these custom applications to your account and answer any questions that you may have.
Cool. Isn't that awesome? Thank you, Jemiah.
Thank you.
I'll add that in New York a few weeks ago, one of our customers deployed Cost Optimize and found $400,000 worth of savings on the spot. So if you're ready to optimize your cloud bill, you better head over to Hacker Lounge and get that set up. I want to emphasize that this is basically the power of this platform. These are the same tools we use to build our own user interface. We're giving them all to you. So you can build as rich an interface as we do. You can use the same data that we do. You've seen examples of business data getting pulled in, telemetry data getting combined with that, and these amazing kind of visualizations of that data together. And it's all about us opening up our platform to allow you to do incredible, innovative things. Just a couple more things to talk about from that week. Again, this is all written like in less than 4 days, I believe. We had a partner, Split, who does basically feature flag work, and they came in and built a great feature flag UI within New Relic 1. where you could watch the two different versions that were running. You could literally trigger this feature flag from within the New Relic 1 experience if you wanted to modify the current experiment that was running, which is really awesome. We also had one of our GMs who's on the browser side say, you know, what I'd really like to give customers is like the ability to analyze traffic into their site and see if people are having a great experience, a frustrating experience, or in between, like what impact it would have. And he did essentially a napkin sketch. I think that's an MS Paint. And 2 days later, the folks in the room had built out this amazing UI for Site Analyzer that shows, you know, a range of satisfaction of the customer, the impact on bounce rate, and the impact on potentially financials for the site. And this is something he probably could have gone into his product team to ask for, but he had a bunch of engineers in the room in Chicago, and he just went for it. And now we've got an amazing new app to give to you to really optimize your site experience. Another thing that was kind of a follow-on to that is a customer saw that and said, hey, I want to do a journeys view. I want to look by kind of cohort and see how people are progressing through the funnel. So they married, again, performance data with customer data to show how the funnel is performing, and again, understood the funnel heuristics and KPIs. Another person in the room said, that looks cool, but I want to understand the financial impact of that. So they married their financial data with a similar funnel view and built out an app that showed financial impact of people as they move through the funnel as well. So I hope you're starting to get a sense for like what's possible from an apps perspective, but I know that you'll blow us away with what you think of next as well. So there's 12 observability apps that are available open source, and I think that number is climbing by the day. They're available on GitHub, as Jemiah mentioned. To get going yourself to build apps, basically React skills, understand how to use GraphQL, and you're ready to go. I urge you to check out developer.newrelic.com, but actually go to the Hacker Lounge as well. They'll set up the CLI on your laptop. You can walk away here having the ability to build your own apps or even deploy some of these open source apps in your account and start getting some of these great benefits immediately. And this is all on top of the core New Relic One platform with amazing dashboarding capability, amazing alerting, these connected views, all this open data that's coming in. So an app is icing on the cake, and we look forward to seeing what you can do. So just to summarize today, we've talked about 6 new innovations. 3 of them against our open strategy. New Relic Metrics, bring any metric from any source into our platform. Traces, same thing. New Relic Logs, a lightning-fast log product that's got logs and context. You get to the why so much faster and get back to work and not have to context switch. New Relic AI to sort through all the alert noise that's coming in and reduce it down to the very valuable signals you need to pay attention to so you reduce your toil. And then, of course, programmable in the open source apps, which is all about you innovating on top of our platform and doing amazing things for your business. And it's all about New Relic One, which is really the first observability platform that is open, connected, and again, programmable. So the question I'll leave you with today is really, what are you going to build, and how will you change your business as a result? Thank you so much for being here today, and I look forward to the rest of the day with you. Take care.